forms. What are the three forms of the verb be in the present?
Are, is.
Am, are, is. Perfect. And what is the verb be in the past?
Was, were.
Was and were. Cool. And verb ing is being. What is the past participle of be?
Been.
Been. Okay. And that is pretty much it right there. When do I use am?
With I.
With I. When do I use are? Somebody besides Ben, maybe Nancy.
You.
Okay, thank you,
They.
Noemi. They. We, and one more.
We.
Second person.
You.
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 Excellent. And is with he, she, and it. And I know this is basic, but sometimes people forget. So in Spanish, we say, for example, I don't know, la gente no quiere trabajar. In English, how do you say that?
People don't want to work.
People don't want to work. Excellent. Now, we know that we don't say the people, right? Because we're generalizing. Now, with that concept, how do I say this? La gente está cansada.
People are tired.
People are tired. Excellent. Are. I sometimes hear people is. People is. And no, never say that. Remember, people is plural. You have to use are. Now, something that's going to come on the test is a question like this. I, yesterday. And the answers are going to be A, watch, B, watched, or C, have watched. Oh, sorry. TV. What is the correct answer here?
B.
Letter B. All right, cool. Why not C?
Because it's at a specific time. Yesterday.
Excellent. Yes. Yesterday is a specific time, and you can't
Oscar.
use the present perfect with a specific time. Remember that. Well, a specific time in the past. Because you can use the present perfect with a specific time, but it has to be in the moment, you know? Like I can say, I have watched TV all day. I have watched TV this week. This week is not finished. The day is not finished. It's specific, but it's not finished, so it's okay. All right. And why can't it be A?
Because present.
Because A is present. Exactly. All right. Another type of question would be like this. Nancy, what would be the answer here? She
got out.
Excellent. Got out.
And don't ask me why.
Okay. Good. Well, I'll explain why. It
Okay.
can't be B because got is in the past. You never put an S on the verbs in the past. And you cannot be C because it is third person singular, the verb. The verb is third person singular, and you use third person singular verbs for the present, not the past. And this is 2 days ago. So it's the past. Okay. Be very careful with that. And one last type of question that you're going to see is something like this. Obviously, these questions are very basic, but it's the same concept. You know, you need to know when to use a simple past or when to use the present perfect, when to use the verb with s, without s, verbs in the past, etc. Karina, what's the correct answer? Are you there?
Sorry, I'm on mute. Letter C has been swimming.
Yeah, has been swimming. And here it's pretty basic. The formula is has or have been in the verb ing. Okay. In letter B, we're missing been. In letter A, we put the past participle instead of the verb ing. This is the type of question, well, these types of questions are the one that's going to come on the exam. Okay. Oh, sorry. There's one more. And this is a really, really important one. I almost forgot it. All right. And this one right here, I feel like some of you still have problems with. So Lupita, what's the correct answer here? Number 4.
C, couldn't come.
Yes, couldn't come. All right. Let me make this very clear. After modals, always use the verb in its base form. Always, even if you're talking about the past, the verb after the modal is in the base form. Some students, I don't think you, say, I couldn't came to class today because I was busy, teacher. Couldn't came is the past. You got to use the base verb, which is come. Okay, the same thing. I can't went. No, that doesn't make sense. Remember, can't is the present, couldn't is the past. And even if it's the present or the past, the next verb needs to be in its base form, no matter what. And that's all for lesson A. Are there any questions?
Nope.
Teacher, in the example that says he has been swimming every day, it could be he has swum every day.
He has swum. Yeah, that would work. He has swum. Yes. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. No more questions with this.
Nope.
All right. Well, you may relax 1 or 2 minutes while I go to the other page. So what's a modal verb? Well, just to put it simply, a modal verb is a type of auxiliary verb. Okay, it's an auxiliary verb. That means it helps give a more specific meaning to the following verb. For example, if I say I swim, that's cool. But if I say I can swim, that expresses that I have the ability to swim. Okay. Same thing like this. You dance. Okay, that's basic. But if I say you should dance, I am telling you this as a suggestion. You should dance. It gives the next verb a more specific meaning. Now, what are the modal verbs? There are a lot. There is should, could, would, may, might, oughta, might wanna, and class. Do you know any more?
Can.
Must.
Will, must. Oh yeah, can, can't. And there are many more.
Okay.
Those are the main ones. All right. Now, Unit 2, page 13. Unit 2, Unit 1, Lesson B. In this lesson, we were talking about habits in a more formal manner. We use the present tense, we use tend to, we use will, and we use the present continuous with, always, and constantly. Okay. And again, you have to pay attention to the time expressions. If it's a time expression that is like recurring, like every day, on Sundays, in the morning, if it's like a habit, then you use the present tense. What is the correct answer here?
Read.
Read. Yeah. Every morning I read a book. All right. Now, something more difficult using the continuous tense. What is the correct answer here, Donna?
She's always watching.
Very good. She's always watching. Now, usually the adverb always goes before the main verb. Remember, in the present continuous, there are two verbs, is, and then, well, the verb be and the verb ing. The verb that is in ing is the main verb. You have the auxiliary verb be, and then you have the verb ing, in this case, watching. The verb ing is the main verb. Put always before the main verb, okay? Always, always. Now, I have seen that some people put always before the auxiliary verb. I think in some countries that's correct, but in American English, it sounds weird. She always is watching. Sounds kind of weird, okay? But I don't know, maybe in other English-speaking countries, it is acceptable because I have seen it, even though it sounds very awkward. All right, remember this. When there are two actions and you want to emphasize that one action is longer than the other, make sure the longer action is continuous. That's really important. Make sure the longer action is continuous. For example, when I was running, I saw an old teacher of mine. Okay, when running in this case is the longer action. Seeing the old teacher is a short action. I was running for 30 minutes. I saw an old teacher maybe for a few seconds. All right, so with that concept, tell me what is correct here. Now, on the exam, you're going to have ABC questions, but I want you to manipulate these verbs. Wash dishes and here. What would go here and what would go here?
Number one in first space.
Yeah, but they're not, the verbs are not correct. You have to adjust them.
Ah. When I was watching dishes, I heard strange noise.
When I was washing dishes last night, I heard a strange noise. Exactly. All right. Washing the dishes is obviously a longer action, and hearing the noise, well, it's the shorter action. All right. Let's see who hasn't spoken today. Manu, what's the correct answer here? My father.
My father, it's about the same.
Oh no, right here, you're gonna choose A, B, or C.
Okay. My father tends to call me after work.
My father tends to call me after work. All right. And Karina, what is a synonym of tend to?
Mm, used to.
Kind of. Class, can you help her?
Try.
No, not try. That is intend. That is intend. Tend to.
Frequently.
Very close, very close.
Sometimes.
More is, you're getting hotter. Tend to is kind of like usually or normally. My father normally calls me after work. My father usually calls me after work. But here we're using tend to, and tend to is, I guess you can consider it a modal verb. Okay. Now, something that's really important here is that tend to is formal, elegant, and sounds much nicer. Okay. That is something that's also going to come on test. Any questions about this lesson?
None.
No.
No.
No. Okay. Well, just so we can have a little bit of fluency practice, I want you to answer question 1A, 2A, and 3A from this exercise. How do you normally catch up with your friends by phone? How much time do you spend on your social networking site? What do you mostly use your cell phone for? Okay. Try to use these types of verbs, the present tense, tend to, will, and the present continuous with always and constantly. Okay. Have a mini discussion. Speak for 5 minutes. Go into details. Answer with detailed responses and ask extra questions. Please enter the breakout room.
I don't know. Both
don't-
sounds correct.
They do
I
sound
think-
correct, but only one is correct.
I think A.
A would definitely be correct. Do you know why though?
Because no, I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's just that whenever you use the continuous verb, it means that it is longer. So maybe you're washing dishes, that's the main action, and then maybe you watch a little bit of videos while you wash the dishes. Plus the other one sounds weird. It's just like, estoy viendo videos cuando lavo trastes. Sounds weird. It sounds like something that is happening in the moment instead of a habit. But okay, just remember guys, the continuous verb is for the longer action. Let's go. Now we're on to Unit 2, Lesson A. In Unit 2, Lesson A, we practiced adding information to sentences using who, that, and which. Enrique is who's missing. Okay. Yeah, who, that, and which. Noemi, when do we use who?
That
No, but when do we use who?
Nom, 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 nom.
For things.
Oh, okay. No, for nothing. How was the other word?
People.
People. Yeah.
All right. And Benjamin, when do we use which?
Thanks.
Thanks. And Nancy, when do we use that?
People,
People and
things.
people and things. All right, cool. Now, remember, we use who, that, and which to add information, okay? Instead of saying two basic sentences like, I have a mom, my mom sings me, I don't know, Luis Miguel. Instead of saying two basic sentences, I can combine them and say, I have a mom that sings me Luis Miguel. Okay, that's why we use who, that, and which to combine sentences into one sentence. It makes it sound more interesting and less elementary. All right, now, but with this specific lesson, there were three important things that we have to mention, well, that I have to remind you of. Number one is never put a comma before that. Never put a comma before that. The second thing is that you can omit the relative pronoun if there is a complete clause after it. I will explain that in one moment. And we can also use which to add an opinion or comment. Lupita, what's your question?
And I have a mom that thanks me, Luis. Can we use who instead of that?
Definitely, definitely, definitely. In fact, it's, oh yeah, I guess that's an important thing to mention. Who is more common for people? And that is more common for things. It's not very common that people say which, because it's such an ugly word, because it's like bruja. So people prefer to use who and people prefer to use that. Okay, but at the same time, you can use that for everything. Okay, so remember those three things. Let me explain number 2 a little bit more because I feel like it's more complicated to understand. If I say I have a guitar that I bought at a Kiss concert, that sentence is correct. But look at the words after that. I bought at a Kiss concert. This is a complete clause. I have a subject and I have a verb. So in that case, I can omit that. So I have two options. I can say, I have a guitar that I bought at a Kiss concert, or I have a guitar I bought at a Kiss concert. Oh, sorry, you have three options. You can also say which, even though it's not very common. I have a guitar which I bought at a Kiss concert. Or just simply cancel the relative pronoun. I have a guitar I bought at a Kiss concert. It is okay to omit the relative pronoun if there is a complete clause after it. In that case, there is a complete clause. I bought, subject, verb. Okay, now for my new students, a clause is a complete idea. It has a subject and a verb. So, I bought at a Kiss concert. It has a subject and a verb. It's a complete idea. That's fine. Any questions so far? Okay, let me give you some examples from the test. On the test, you're gonna have something like this. Choose the correct sentence. And there are gonna be some sentences. A, what is the correct answer, Norma?
Letter A.
Letter A, very good. That's the girl that I like. Why not B, Norma?
Because we have which, and which we use it for things.
Yes. And why not C, Norma?
Because we never put a comma before that.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
Teacher, but which you say is for opinion or comment? We cannot say that which, like that's the girl which I like because it's an opinion or a comment. No, we cannot say that.
Yes,
But it doesn't sound like you say, it doesn't sound correct.
but you can remember, we use the which clause to add an opinion or comment about a situation or an action. If I say that's the girl, that's not a situation, that's not an action. That's just identifying the girl, you know? But if I said something like, I don't know, my boss canceled the meeting today, which I like. That's fine. Because you like that your boss canceled the meeting,
Mhm.
you know? In that case, you can say that. There was a mass shooting in New York, which is sad. You know, what is sad? The mass shooting in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can use the which clause to add an opinion or comment about a situation or event.
Oh, okay.
That's a good question. Thank you. That way we can
Thank you, teacher.
specify. All right. And that's gonna be all. You're not gonna have many questions about this lesson because it's kind of easy. You know, who is for people, which is for things, and that is for people and things, and just never put a comma before that. And omit the relative pronoun if there is a complete clause after it. Okay. Well, let's go on to the next lesson. Unit 2, lesson B. Remember, if you have any questions, you can stop me. No problem. Interrupt if you like. All right, unit 2, lesson B. In this case, we were linking ideas with that clauses. Now, a part of being a good English speaker, I feel like when you're bilingual, something that is expected of us is that we translate things. When people know that you know English, they're like, a ver, ¿qué dice esta canción? Oh, a ver, ¿qué dice esto? Ven, ayúdame. You know, people, my family and my friends, they always ask me, and I'm pretty sure you have experienced that too. A ver, ¿tú qué sabes inglés, ven? And they want you to translate something. So that's why we do little translations too, to prepare you for the real world. So look at this sentence right here. Los expertos dicen, no? Experts claim that watching TV is one cause of obesity. Just observe it for a little bit. On the test, you're gonna have something like this. Hold on. All right, sorry. Now choose the correct sentence. A. What would be the correct answer here?
See?
Yeah, Nancy, you know. Why C?
I know.
Well,
I don't know.
no, yeah, well, it's C. It's C.
See, no, it's C, but I don't know.
All right.
Because
So,
it's people that continue eating, or I don't know how to say in the correct grammar.
all right. Let me explain it the easiest way possible.
Yes.
All
thank you.
right. So first, Nancy, tell me, what is a clause? Nancy? Do you remember?
Oh, I'm sorry, teacher. It's a complete idea.
It usually has two things. What are those things?
Has a subject and a verb.
All right. Now, that clause is a complete idea with a subject and a verb beginning with that.
Mm,
Okay, so and it's really crazy that it's called a that clause, because you can omit the word that. And just like in the other lesson, you can omit the relative pronoun when there is a complete idea after it. And because that clause is that with a complete idea, you can always omit that. You can always omit it. So I think it's crazy that the name of this grammar is a that clause, but it is. So technically you can say experts claim that eating candy before one is unhealthy, or you could say experts claim eating candy before one is unhealthy. Both of them would work. Norma, you have a question?
You have already answered it, teacher. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So, but why? Why is C correct and not letter A? Los expertos dicen que comer dulce antes del primer año es malo para la salud. Why? Why not A?
Because it's a process.
It's a process.
No.
Because it is not a clause.
It is not a clause. Why not, Norma?
Eating is not the verb, is the subject. So in number one, you are omitting the subject.
Eating in this case is a subject. It's a gerund. Remember, gerunds are subjects.
Mm.
All right. How do I know it's a subject? Easy. There's another verb in the sentence. Eating candy before one is unhealthy. Comer dulce antes del primer año es malo para la salud. Okay. Es is the verb. Is the verb. Okay. And letter A is wrong because you cannot have two verbs in one sentence. Here we have is and we have eat. No, that would not be correct. Never. So what do? Easy. Change the first verb to a gerund and voila, it becomes a subject. Now you have one subject and you have one verb and everything
Sir?
is okay. Yes, sir.
And why experts are not a subject?
It is a subject. It
So-
is. So experts claim, that's one clause. And eating candy before one is another clause.
Ah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I remember when I was studying in the United States, my teacher, well, my professors would call this they would call these complex sentences. And a complex sentence is, well, they have two subjects and two verbs with a connector or more. Okay, here we have the connector that, and we have two subjects, experts in eating, and we had two verbs, claim and is. So remember that these are complex sentences. Two subjects and two verbs with a connector or more. All right, now with that being said, let me remind you a little bit about the gerunds. How do I say dormir temprano? Es importante.
Sleeping earlier is important.
Is important. Yes, very good. Not sleep early, it's sleeping early is important. Okay, now just verbally. Eric, how can I say tomar agua es importante?
Drinking water is important.
Excellent. Drinking water is important. Manu, how can I say leer libros es bueno?
Reading books is good.
Reading books is good. Excellent, excellent. Lupita, how can I say hacer ejercicio te ayuda?
Doing exercise helps you.
Doing exercise helps you. Excellent, excellent. You're very smart. You're very advanced, Lupita. That's another thing. With gerunds, you have to use a singular verb. Use a singular verb with gerunds. If you notice up here, it says eating candy before one is unhealthy, not are. Over here, it says doing exercise helps, not help. It's a singular verb. Singular means third person, singular. Okay. Any questions with this?
No, teacher.
No, sir.
Teacher.
Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. All right, here is the good stuff. Unit 3, Lesson A. Okie dokie. In this unit, we were talking about the highlights of our life using the present perfect and the past tense. So here we saw 4 big verb tenses. We saw the simple past, we saw the past continuous, we saw the present perfect simple, and we saw the present perfect continuous. Eric, you said something really important earlier today. With the present perfect, you cannot use a specific time in the past. You cannot use a specific time in the past, whether it's present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. It's not going to work. A specific time in the past, nope. Unless you use a connector like since, in, that works. But if you're not using a connector, then no, it would not be correct. All right, so I'm gonna give you a verb and you're gonna complete the sentence using the verb. What are the different possibilities for the sentence?
I have been.
I have been.
I
was.
I was. Here, let me help you. I'm gonna give you the super fast. I ate. I was eating.
Sorry.
I have eaten and have been eaten. No, I'm sorry. I should have been more clear. Well, I should have been clear with this, more specific, using these 4 tenses only. Which ones work in this sentence?
I have eaten.
Excellent. I have eaten. And one more works.
I've been eating.
Have been eating. No, I'll
Yeah,
explain why.
it
I'll explain
works.
why.
Eating.
I ate.
I ate. Yes. Now let me explain why was eating and have been eating don't work here.
Specific time? No.
No, it's not because of that.
Yeah.
You can't use a continuous verb to talk about how many times you did something. Because remember, a continuous verb is for a continuous action. But if you say, I did this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, that is not continuous because you stop and then you do it again. You stop, you do it again. It's not continuous. If you go 2 times, you went 1 day, maybe you did not go for 2 days, and you went another day. It's not continuous. So it has to be simple. In this case, I have eaten there 2 times this month and I ate there 2 times this month. That's fine. But and I have a question for you. What is the difference between I have eaten there 2 times this month and I ate there 2 times this month? I think Noemi knows this, but I don't know who would like to tell me. A or B? What's the difference? Because there is a difference. They're both correct, but there is a little difference. Karina?
The option B stop to the action in that moment, and maybe it doesn't occur in the future. And the first one maybe occur in the future.
Okay. Excellent. Exactly. If I say I have eaten there 2 times this month, it means I could eat there again. I might eat there again this month. I don't know. It's not finished. It's kind of like ambiguous. And I ate there 2 times this month. I'm finished. I'm done. I'm not going to eat there anymore. At least that's not what I want you to understand. Okay. That's really important. All right. Another, well, a more specific type of question that's going to come on the test is like this. Choose the correct question. Well, this is very easy. What is the correct answer?
B.
Yes. Remember, it's really important that in the present perfect continuous, you choose 3 things. Sorry, that you make sure there are 3 things in the present perfect continuous: have or has, then been, and then the verb ing. Really important. The most common mistake here is that people forget been. All right. What have you been up to lately? It is the same question as what have you been doing lately? Okay. How would you answer this? Using the verb, let's see, using the verb go.
No,
I have
I
been going to the gym.
Excellent.
I have gone.
I have been going to the gym. These types of questions, ¿qué has estado haciendo? like, what have you been up to lately? You know, so this means like, what's new in your life and what are you still doing? No, of course, I could say I've been going to the gym and taking a class, and oh, I broke up with my girlfriend. Okay, now the main thing is in the present perfect continuous. Been going to the gym and taking a class, but you can also say something in the simple past. I broke up with my girlfriend. That is fine because that is a new thing. Remember, this type of question is when you want to catch up with a friend. Benjamin, what does catch up mean?
What's news?
Yeah, like, well, yeah, what's the news? You know, what's new in
Yeah.
your life?
What's going on?
All right. Class, how do you say catsup in English?
Ketchup.
Ketchup. Yeah. Ketchup. All right. Ketchup and ketchup, they sound very similar. Be careful
Who
with
say
that.
catsup?
Who says katsu? No, nobody said it.
Yeah.
That's just a trivial question. Okay. All right. Well, that is all on this.
Teacher, the question, what have you been up to lately? It could be, what have you been doing lately?
Yeah, exactly. These two questions right here are the same.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. I guess, Karina, the second question, what have you been up to lately? This is more like casual, more friendly, you know? Like when there is trust between the two of you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go on to the next lesson, which might be a little more difficult. Here, Unit 3, Lesson B. In this lesson, we use the simple past, the past perfect, and the past perfect continuous. Now, this entire unit, I was telling you, the verbs in the past are important. But why are the verbs in the past important, guys? There are many reasons, but there's one specific reason that I kept telling you all the time. Why are they important?
To know the tense.
Yeah, of course, you want general knowledge, but something more specific. One objective from this book.
To know the time. Who is first? What never mind.
No. Why are the verbs in the past important? Not verbs in the past perfect, just verbs in the past in general, the simple past, the present perfect, the past continuous, all of them. Why are they important? Norma? Alberto?
Because it happened in the past, like event or something.
Yes, but why are they important? Like to us, why are they important for us to know besides to dominate the verbs?
The action is done.
The action is done. Yes.
To
Oh.
communicate
Yes.
properly.
To communicate, yes, to communicate properly. But there's
Because we
one
have a
specific
past?
skill. We all have a past, exactly, but there's one specific skill that the past helps us with. I think, Lupita, you were here. Maybe you remember. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't remember.
No? Eric?
But can I say, I may be wrong, but I don't know, it lets us know that something happened in the past.
Yes, You're getting closer. You're getting closer. The verbs in the past are important because they help us tell stories. Okay, they help us tell stories. And telling a story is an important thing in life. If you can tell a good story, you can sell us anything. Okay. But that goes along with using the verbs correctly, knowing the verbs, putting things in order. Yes, yes, yes. All of that is to tell stories, talk about experiences, anecdotes. All right. You seem to be experts. So what's the difference between the simple past and past perfect?
The time.
Yes, tell me more.
Simple past is, well, happen first, and past perfect after.
I think it's backwards.
Really?
Yeah. The action in the past perfect happened first on a chronological line. Oops, I spelled chronological wrong. And then the simple past. Let me explain. I had been waiting for 30 minutes before the bus came. What happened first? I had been waiting and then the bus came. Okay, if we look at it from a chronological scale, one thing happened and then the other thing. It helps us, the past perfect helps us put our actions in order. Okay, it helps to specify the order of our events. So now, obviously here with the verb study, I could say I studied a lot before I took the test, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But you have two actions, and obviously one happened before the other. So what could be another option instead of studied?
Past perfect continuous.
Okay, tell us, what is it?
I had been studying.
And maybe even this one, I had studied. I had studied a lot before I took the test. All of them work. Which one sounds better? The past perfect. Remember, the past perfect and the simple past, they are used the same nowadays. But the past perfect, it gives you more of an advanced touch. Okay, it gives you more of an advanced touch. And that's what I want you to start using it. The past perfect a little bit more. All right. right here, instead of the verb got, what else could I say?
I've been.
No. Well, I didn't go to work because I've been sick from some food I ate. Okay, yeah. Technically you could use I've been or I've gotten sick. You can use the present perfect, but just focusing on these three tenses, the simple past, past perfect, and the past perfect continuous.
I was sick.
Because I was sick. No, using the verb get. Using the verb get.
Okay, okay.
I have been getting.
I had been getting sick.
Yes.
Usually when you get sick, it's one time, so it's not continuous.
Okay.
I had got.
I had gotten. Yes. All right. Two important things. Number one, use the past perfect to give an explanation. Yes, you can use the simple past. I didn't go to work because I got sick from some food I ate. Yes, you can use it, but it's not as nice as the past perfect. So you use the past perfect to give an explanation, and you also use the past perfect to emphasize that one action happened before the other. Remember, we call the past perfect the super past because it happened before an action in the past. All right. On the test, you're going to have something like this. Choose the correct sentence. What would be the correct answer here, Alberto?
Letter A.
Letter A. No, here, let me complete everything for you. It's not letter A.
Letter C.
It's letter C. Very good. What is letter A missing?
B.
B.
Exactly. And what is letter B missing?
Have.
Have or had. Exactly. All right. Those are the type of questions that you're going to have on the test. And remember, if you don't feel 100% prepared, don't worry. This is just a little review. I want you to take your time tomorrow with the test. But also don't stress too much about it, because if there is something that you don't understand, then I will have the opportunity to help you. Okay? So that's the most important thing, that if you don't understand something, at least I can help you. All right, but everybody, please come to the class tomorrow. Try to be here before 6:10. because that's when the exam is going to begin. I'm going to show you the new format, and then everybody is going to begin. It's going to take the whole class to do the test tomorrow. Okay, so the faster you finish, the faster you may leave. Do you have any questions for me?
Teacher, we can say hadn't to, like I hadn't gone to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can use both. I didn't go to work, but we can say I hadn't gone to work.
Yeah, exactly. Except that when you use hadn't gone, you're like emphasizing that it's in the super past, like it's a reason.
Okay.
It's like I hadn't gone to work is no había ido al trabajo. I didn't go to work, no fui al trabajo.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the context, both could work.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Take care.